So I'm a full-time faculty at a college as well as I teach um, game development at Columbia in Chicago. And the I do a lot of games for different companies as well as myself. And so I've thought about for a while, like how do I take somebody through the entire process of creating enemy characters from scratch, creating the art and programming it in Unity. So I'm going to attempt that in this video. So this first video is just going to be about how do you character concept out a character. And I want to preface something here. Um, I think anybody can make art, and I think anybody can code. And the reason I say that is when I graduated college, I didn't necessarily get a job. So go ahead and create a standard one here. It took me some time um, before I got into the industry because my work was so bad coming out of school. And I say that because it does hopefully inspire some of you who didn't get work right away, and you're like, damn, is it me? Is it? Sometimes there really is some portfolio stuff. So I'm actually writing a book now for Focal Press on this subject called The Path to the Game Industry Environment Art, where I take you through that process. So let's start off with some characters. So I have this game that I've been working on for a while. It's my passion project. It's called Leo versus Robots. We have one version on the iOS store and Android now, and I want to build out another version called Periodic Planet. Now the concept behind this game is these cute robots are stealing all of the elements from the periodic table. So let's go ahead and talk about the creation of creating one robot. Okay, and I want this robot to be cute. It is an enemy. And I want to think about like what makes something cute. So the first thing I do is I start looking at creating general shapes, right? So I'll start off with a sphere for a head as one. So let's make a new layer here. I'm going to hit Control Shift and hit Enter. And just on this layer, I start thinking about like what kind of shapes I want the head, the body to be, right? The hands, stuff like this. You know, and you just start building out these shapes. I'm like, okay, like, does he have a mouth? Is it on some sort of robotic jaw? And none of these are finalized, right? They're just sketches. See how long it took me to do that one? I'll start off with maybe a triangle for a head on this one. And maybe this guy's got like an antenna like those fish that guide him, right? Maybe a little neck. I can kind of stick with the same robot body here, right? You know, start with more of a spaceship dome head like that, and maybe that sits inside of a body like this. And maybe he drives on a wheel. So again, you're just looking at different shapes. Maybe inside it, he's made a liquid inside of here. And this guy does like collection of, actually I kind of like this guy, collection of liquids, because the theme is these robots are stealing for their overlord all of the periodic elements, right? So maybe he'll have a P here, or this guy steals gas, and so he's labeled with a G or something. So you're just kind of having fun with these different character designs. And maybe the jaw is separate, and when he speaks, it goes up or down. Um, and I like this idea of the jaw here. So we didn't do a square, we did two round ones. So let's take a look at maybe creating a square guy. So maybe this guy's got a huge jaw, same sort of eye set up like that. Um, Give him like maybe a roundish body. And we'll give him some legs like this, right? And since he's sort of like a hulking guy, we'll give him a little bit more substance to his arm. let's see, what other shape can we work with? Um, Maybe one more brute, but we'll do like a rounded head for the brute, like this. Same sort of jaw. And then brutes generally have these like big lats. So let's give this guy more triangular eyes to offset that look. Let's see. And give him part of that is like his chest is like this, and then his torso, kind of like that RoboCop look. And a couple of legs. Notice that I'm drawing the line to give our character some weight right underneath. Maybe I'd make his legs a little tinier. And it's okay to move to play with these shapes too, right? And give him like these big, powerful fists. And I'll generally keep these, just keep going with these sketches for a while until I'm like totally zapped. Um, I'm gonna actually go ahead and model this guy out with the chemicals. I think that's kind of a cool look. We're gonna go ahead and make a model sheet out of this guy. We'll do that in the next video.